Що ми зараз почуємо?
Hello, Eugenia.
Hello!
How are you today?
It's okay.
Very nice. So, Eugenia, to be or not to be? That is the question. Do you know who said that?
Yes.
Who?
William Shakespeare.
Wow, can you see William Shakespeare anywhere in the room?
Yeah.
Yes, that is that guy who made us know this phrase. Thank you very much, and we'll begin speaking. Okay, would you like to read? Would you like to read the book? Would you like to read the book?
Вінні Пух.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh. Okay, and you can touch it. It's really nice. Touch it. It's like, yeah, it's so nice. Okay, you can read those books, and I'll tell you about famous British and American writers.
Дякую.
Okay, let's begin. So guys, hello and welcome again. You know me, I'm Olena Korolova, as I call myself crazy teacher. I'm from Mariupol Secondary School number 47, and let's get started. So, do you know these guys? Have you seen those TV series? Maybe you know these guys, those three. How about those folks? Do you recognize them? I bet you know these people and like mystical creatures. Do you remember their names? Okay. How about these guys? Are there still any fans of these characters? Maybe you came across those kids and a lion. If you like scary movies, probably you remember that pale, like white-faced guy. Or if you like solving riddles and puzzles, maybe you know who these people are. You know what? You know all of these characters just because of these guys, because of these people. Because they were famous American and British writers, authors, who brought those characters life to you. So right here you have the author of the Chronicles of Narnia, that is Clive Staple Lewis. And right here is like one of the greatest, to my mind, one of the greatest writers of all times. Yes, that is Professor John Ronald Reuel Tolkien, who was the author of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. And if you like fairy tales, you probably know that guys. And actually the girl. Do you know who that girl is? That is the Alice from the Wonderland. And this is Lewis Carroll. Okay, let's continue. These three beautiful ladies are quite modern authors. Here is the mother of Harry Potter. I bet you know her. This is J.K. Rowling. And actually she was, an interesting fact about her is that she was the first writer to become a millionaire out of writing. Can you imagine that? How cool is that? So this pretty woman right here is the author of The Hunger Games. And I bet you know her, this is Susan Collins. And right here, hello to all the Twilight Saga fans, this is Stephanie Meyer, who brought Edward and Bella and Jacob life to you. So these are another patch, like this is another patch of legendary writers and authors. If you like horror stories, I bet you know who that nice guy is. Yes, that is Stephen King. And probably you've seen like the It movie, so you know who that person is. This is Dan Brown, actually one of my favorite authors because I love solving riddles and puzzles, so I like his books like The Da Vinci Code, The Origin, and stuff like that. And here is one of my favorite writers and one of my daughter's favorite writers who brought Sherlock Holmes to all of us. This is Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I bet you've heard of this guy. So, but of course, when you hear the words British literature, one person comes to your mind, and that is this cool guy having an earring in his ear. Yes, that is William Shakespeare. And if you look over here, you can see right here on the poster, you can see him. So, yes, that is William Shakespeare. And I believe you've heard a lot of him. Actually, I brought like a book by him, one of his most famous tragedies of all times, Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. Who doesn't know that? Of course, everybody has heard of William Shakespeare. Actually, I suggest we watch a little video about him. You can easily go to learnenglishkids.britishcouncil.org. You can go to the section where they have short stories, and you can watch a video about William Shakespeare. Here you have this QR code, which you can scan real quick and go to this web page. I hope this works. So let's try and go to this web page so we can watch this video together. They also have, you don't just watch the video, you also have like preparation task before you watch, and you have some cool activities afterwards. So here we have some preparation task. So yeah, we can match the words to the pictures. You can see, I bet you can see words like actor, boo, that's like the sound people make that when they don't like something. Twins, clap, London, history, play, musicians, tragedy, William Shakespeare, theater, and comedy. So I bet you can do that on your own. If you press here, comedy, you can listen to the sounds one moment, and you can hear.
William Shakespeare.
So yeah, you can do that. You can match those activities. And after doing that, you can go to the video itself. You can watch a video about William Shakespeare, and then you have some questions to answer. So it's quite short. It's just 3 minutes, so I suggest we watch it right now. Let's go. So we can see British Council, William Shakespeare.
William Shakespeare was born in 1564. In Stratford-upon-Avon, in England. His father John was a glove maker. His mother Mary was a farmer's daughter. He had 2 older sisters, 2 younger sisters, and 3 younger brothers. William probably studied Latin, Greek, and history, and left school when he was 14 or 15. 3 years later, he married Anne Hathaway. They had a daughter called Susanna and twins named Judith and Hamnet. Sometime before 1590, he left Stratford and went to London, the capital city of England. London's first theatre opened in 1576. Shakespeare worked in London as an actor and then started writing plays too. In 1593, the plague, a terrible disease, killed thousands of people and theatres were closed. During this time, William started to write poems instead of plays. His short poems are called sonnets. Shakespeare helped build a new theatre called the Globe. It opened in 1599. It was round and had space for 3,000 people. At the Globe, some people stood in front of the stage and others had seats. The audience shouted, clapped, booed, and laughed while they watched plays. Musicians created special noises to make the plays more exciting, and they had a cannon to make big bangs. No women acted in Shakespeare's time. Men and boys played all the parts. Shakespeare wrote comedies with happy endings, like A Midsummer Night's Dream. He wrote tragedies, which had sad endings, like Romeo and Juliet. His history plays are about kings and queens like Henry V. Shakespeare wrote 38 plays, maybe more. He loved language and invented new words and expressions that we still use today. William became rich and famous. He had houses in London and in Stratford. He died when he was 52, on April the 23rd, 1616. His plays and poetry were very popular 400 years ago, and they are still popular today. People all over the world love his work because he wrote wonderful stories about very interesting people.
So that was the story about William Shakespeare. And did you know that the 23rd of April, which is like upcoming, which is like the next week, next week, and this is the official Shakespeare Day throughout the world, and also it's like the official English language day throughout the world. So I bet like a lot of schools celebrate that, so you can definitely know that. Okay, let's continue. Hold on a second, give me one moment. So yeah, that was the video. We have some exercises there. If you're interested in Shakespeare, you can also go to bbc.co.uk. You can visit the drama section and you can see some really cool articles concerning William Shakespeare and his works. They are created especially for young people, so you can like find it interesting. It is called 60-Second Shakespeare, and you can see it's like a newspaper that you can actually read, and they explain what happened to Romeo and Juliet, but like in a modern manner, in a modern way. So you can see like who is who section, where they explain who the main characters are, and you can see it's like a cool newspaper to read. So I suggest that you do that in your free time, that you read that newspaper and learn more about that famous tragedy. Okay, let's continue. So, yeah, we can have some practice in your Karpuk textbooks. I brought one here. You can go to page 119. You can read and match the names of the famous writers to the paragraphs about them. So here we have Agatha Christie. Here we have Walter Scott. Of course, we have William Shakespeare, and we have Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So the first one, he was English. He was born in 1564. He was a dramatist, a poet, and an actor. He died in 1616. Of course, you know who that is. That is William Shakespeare. Number two, he was born in 1859. He was a writer of detective stories. The main character of his stories is Sherlock Holmes. And of course, you know who that guy is. That is correct. That is Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Number three, she was born in 1891. And immediately you guess that that is Agatha Christie, because she's the only lady here. She wrote 75 detective stories, and she died in 1976. So one more time, that is Agatha Christie. And he was fond of Scottish folk songs and ballads. He is considered to be a founder of the historical novel, and that is Walter Scott. Okay, let's continue. That was like a piece from your Karpuk textbook. And of course, you can explore Britain through literature. That is a fun way to do that. If you're a big fan of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, you can see where the setting is, and if you really love the book, you can like visit Britain and see that cool estate, that cool building, and supposedly that was the place mentioned in the book. How cool is that? If you are a big fan of Harry Potter series like I am, your dream is to go to Britain and visit all the cool places that were featured in the film. So yes, that reminds of Hogwarts, like reminds a lot. And that is a castle, actually. You can see that is Alnwick Castle in Northumberland. And if you like the Hogwarts Express and your dream is to go by that train, you can go to Glenfinnan Viaduct, and that is in Scotland. And you can see how beautiful that is. Look at the photo. That it's like a dream, and you can see that beautiful train. So wouldn't it be nice to go there and see it with your own eyes? It's like unimaginable. Well, again, for all the Sherlock Holmes fans, it's an interesting fact that the author, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, was actually Scottish. And if you want to see like the Victorian times places, you can go on tour. It is called the Real Sherlock Holmes Walking Tour in Edinburgh, which is the capital of Scotland. And you can see some interesting places there. Okay, so for your home assignment, for your home task, you'll have your Karpuk textbook. It's pages 119, 120. You have to read and translate the text, and then you have exercise 8 on page 121. And again, if you want to learn more, this is like my usual section that I have here. You can go to learnenglishteens.britishcouncil.org, UK Now, Video UK, and you can watch video. Literature is great. It's like a very nice activity to do. Again, if you're a big fan of John Ronald Reuel Tolkien, like I am, like myself, you can go to bbc.co.uk, and you can see, actually I'll do that right now, because actually he was a brilliant, a very talented artist. I mean, like John Ronald Reuel Tolkien. Just imagine, those are his own paintings, his own drawings that he made to illustrate The Hobbit. And here you can see, like, these are one of his favorites, watercolors. You can see the Smaug, this dragon, and that was actually, that was made by John Tolkien. You can see him at a very young age. Look how cute he was. Another watercolors by him. So here is the question. Is it an early version of Gandalf? Can you see that? So that looks like Gandalf to me. And yeah, you can see a lot of nice illustrations. So actually there is an interesting fact that Tolkien actually drew all of the maps that you can see inside the books, like the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. So this is like he imagined it. You can see the Hobbit, Smaug probably over there. So some nice pictures, some nice paintings. And actually, you know that he invented a language. So it's a surprising fact. You can see like this. And yeah, I actually enjoyed reading this article a lot. Like it's the two towers, the book cover, like here is, what else you can see, like the maps I mentioned. So here is Mordor, the bad part of the Midland. And wow, yeah, I like this photograph. Actually, this is the last photograph taken of Tolkien. That was the 9th of August, 1973, and he died less than a month later. He's standing in a botanic garden in Oxford, where he lived, and he's standing next to his favorite tree, the Pinus nigra. And yeah, that is amazing. Actually, when I visited Oxford myself, I saw a lot of different spots where Tolkien and Clive Staple Lewis liked to be because they were friends. They were going to different parts together, so this is very exciting. Okay, let's see what else I have for you. Like probably the final step. Yeah, that's it, guys. So thank you very much for your attention. I suggest that you read as much as possible because English literature and American literature is so good. You can read Byron, you can read O. Henry. He has like amazing, funny stories. You can read Oscar Wilde. You can read Edgar Allan Poe. So there is something for anybody. So I suggest that you read books and become more educated, more clever, and enjoy studying English language.